Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Urban Update. I'm Alberto Vasallo. Happy Super Bowl Sunday. Now, on the show today, a Boston-based entrepreneur who is a real game changer, who started his first successful technology business, get this, when he was only 12 years old, and some people in the community are calling him the new Bill Gates. Also on the program, we'll talk some business news and introduce you to a funder created to preserve jobs at small businesses, women, and minority-owned businesses. And also details on the show on a new platform designed to provide motivation and encouragement for people of all walks of life to move forward and succeed financially. The program is called Lifted. But up first, with the current political climate and the recent executive orders on new immigration policies for the United States, many in the communities most affected are looking for answers to their many inquiries and concerns. But even those seemingly not directly affected are also asking for more clarity. What does this mean for our nation's long-term immigration policy? Can it affect businesses here in the U.S. and which industries? Here to go over a few of the many questions is immigration attorney Carolyn Mikula Mcintosh. Now, she served in this community for some time now. She is now at Parker Galini in Waltham, which is a firm focused on immigration issues, working with clients of all sizes in a wide range of industries. They also represent several colleges and universities in the region. Welcome to Urban Update again, because you've become kind of our resident immigration expert here.
Thank you, Alberto. It's great to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming. So let's kind of get into this right away, okay? This executive order, that's what one of them everybody is talking about. For those who don't know, can give me a little overview of where we are now and why it's been such a big fuss.
The executive order has a number of provisions, but the provision that's caused the most immediate impact this last week and been talked about in the news is the 90-day suspension on individuals from the 7 named countries. And the biggest immediate impact from this provision was that there were people from those 7 countries that were in transit when the executive order was issued. And so they were really caught in the middle of this. They were arriving at United States airports, and there was not real guidance at the time on if they were going to be admitted or not. They were being held, detained, interrogated, and removed from the United States because they were caught in the middle of this period right when the executive order was issued.
Now, what kind of effect does this have? Because who are some of these folks? Because, you know, a lot of folks are under the impression that this was meant to curtail or at least vet a lot of potential terrorists. That was kind of the rationale along the campaign, along with this. But this really has affected maybe just this whole other range of folks, right?
Well, many people are concerned about this beyond from the 7 named countries, and this affects people with lawful status. So people with visas and people with green cards that were on these flights were being stopped, interrogated, detained, and even removed. We have since gotten more guidance on the issue. The administration has now told the Department of Homeland Security that green card holders should not be removed from those 7 countries. So the most immediate effect now is on visa holders. But there has been a real lack of clarity over the last week, and there's still a lot of questions. So there's people that are concerned that are even outside these 7 countries about the effect this is going to have on them. If they can travel, they're concerned if they'll be able to get back into the United States after they travel.
Yeah, and let's talk about some of those other folks and from outside those different countries and how it affects both maybe some of the industries here locally. And you were talking off air, and your firm, I know, represents colleges and universities. It's also having an effect on college admissions here in the area as well, correct?
Absolutely. I mean, Boston is a world-class city. We're a hub of international activity. So there's many businesses here in Boston and many universities that rely on their international employees and international students. And from the university angle that you asked, there's it's admissions period. So there's universities that are considering candidates from some of these 7 countries, and they're now worried that if they accept these students won't be able to come for school. There's also some people that are overseas now that can't return back for school. And in the business community, this affects people at every level of companies in Boston. There's executives, managers that now can't return from trips, or positions that were filled by companies in Boston for prospective visa holders that were about to have their interviews at consulates overseas that now can't go to their visa interviews, now can't come on their, what they thought they were going to receive lawful visas to come and fill these positions. So you have companies that are without CFOs, CEOs, and
right
really,
here in the region, right?
Right here in the region, because you have these prospective jobs that now can't be filled, or were filled. They were given job offers, or companies wanted to transfer executives from overseas branches or managers from overseas branches, and now they're unable to do so. So you have a lot of HR directors that are in unsettling positions. It's creating a large distraction and an unproductive distraction for businesses in our area.
Now, in the little time that we have left, and I appreciate that because this is great information that I'm sure a lot of people are hearing this for the first time. There's so much this. But give me your legal kind of definition of the sanctuary city. We've heard it. We've heard the mayor use it. I've heard it misinterpreted. So from you, I know you've been working in this area for a number of years. What does a sanctuary city mean, and what kind of consequences does it have? There are a lot of people who are afraid of it, a lot of people who welcome and embrace it. What's the legal kind of term for it?
So many people throw around this term, and it inflames emotions on both sides, but very few people understand what it actually means. And to understand legally the underlying policy of sanctuary cities, you have to understand what an ICE detainer is. So when individuals are arrested, and they could be arrested for any number of crimes, it could go from something as low as driving without a license up to serious, egregious crimes, felonies. And when somebody is arrested, regardless of the severity of the crime, if the law enforcement wants to share that information with ICE, ICE is the Immigration and Customs Enforcement, what we know as the immigration police, they would share that under the program that we used to have in many cities, and many still do, called Secure Communities. And the unfortunate effect was you often had people that were pulled over for driving without a license, taking their kids to school, going to work, and their information is now being shared with ICE. And ICE could then issue an ICE detainer. And that detainer told the local law enforcement that they had to hold that person for 48 hours, not including weekends, while ICE was able to send an ICE officer over to come pick that person up. So after the person paid their bail or finished out a sentence, basically when that person had no remaining state legal authority to be held, or even federal legal authority for any crime, there was no reason to hold them anymore. The local enforcement would then hold them for an additional 48 hours just so that ICE could come pick them up.
And that is a good definition that I've yet heard of kind of who gets detained and why. So I appreciate that. I know this is going to be an ongoing issue, so I may have you back on as part of a panel. But thank you for waking up this morning. I know you have I know you don't have a Super Bowl party, and I know you're going to be wearing your Gronk shirt later.
The Gronk
but it's Super Bowl Sunday, so I want to see you with your number 87 shirt. All right.
All right. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. All right. When we come back, a technology wizard who was basically bored with school at the age of 12 and started his first successful tech business at that young age. We'll have all the story and his details right here on Urban Update.